try not to. I've learned it's much harder to pay attention to work smarter through the life choices we make. You can't expect to make a mistake. I am not looking for lasting happiness. If it was there on time, dear, then this world would be bliss. When there be something missing from all of this, what would make the good times good and the bad times necessary to get through? I know we'll get there. I've been working harder when I realized I wasted my time.
I can't hardly stand it. It's soft velvet like the left blue because it was the night for the set. The Satan that found satisfaction for the sight, and maybe it was beyond that for the made her fight for the leaving the right, for this is all I gave, for the stay true, for the never leaving you behind the heart for the soul, for the just to watch like the witness of the Jehovah. Allah for the heart, for the says that I make the choice for this to be the only easy. Not to be justified, but the justifying for the line that's synonymous with the love of the heart, for this cares anonymously left for that, for the breath. That treated the cheap tropical force for the living, the life, for the illuminating, for the Illuminati, for the plane, somebody on the symbiosis, for the synthetic synthesis, for the theory just left to be just a thesis. And this is the heartbreak and the smashing the hearts can clean up, making up the energy left behind for the back pay, and countering for the paybacks and payback, breakthrough for the paybacks, break out for the break beats and the breaking your breaks for accomplishing the works and no breaks with the food for that thought. Lunches to pack the mind. Conscious of what the soul is for the backsliding, for the home plate, for the tables to turn and leaving your heart states to that to make the true question, the silence, the lacking of the communication with the community, the communion on easy to Sunday where the lighting. Sometimes sunny up in the shady for the body language, the virtue to be compressed and used to hurt. Violated for the violence, the victory for the democracy, for the democratic, for the demons, and the demanded energy for the most spiritual granted for the prevention of the city, for the uplifting and the separating for the Aries. The burden to pay that pastor's tide of the green beliefs and optimism for the side of the dense and defenseless because of the conditioning, the ignorance and rants. Ignoring the sleepless and snoring beyond the persevering for the persecution, for the persuaded for the dissuaded, converted for the convinced, persuasive velvet blue for the melancholy blue sea for the blind light. Active acknowledgement was good enough for the attention but meant to stay oblivious. Reunification of oblivion in the sense that's significant. It's only abbreviated for the shortcoming for the Christ consciousness and alleviation for all elevated. Evolve around revolvers of revolutions and problems and can't cause effects. The morals of problems to solve. Open their lovers of the tree for the life of the leave the up without the trace of the trash to trace. Disregarded for the tasteless without the taste of the test. To testify for the tellers to turn out to take side. Taken on the beacons to consider for the re-enter for the consistent. Or the contenders with the judgment and enchantment for the use to be the mantra. Chant the mantra out for the us and the manner for the only mankind for the man God. Son of the prodigy for the procession. Or process for the prophecy. See that like for the details, for that you could choose the dyslexia of the all groaner, for the dog manner, for the karma, for the ever. You can find that for the terrorized and the materials, the magician, to find the meticulous for the company. Accumulated for the accomplished and access for the penetrated for the acupuncture, for the only accustomed for the accusation, for the accusing actual abuse and allegations are sneaky, and thus for the allegation for the alligator, for the pride for the original, for the consolation for the darkness, see that the Buddha's teach for the stars for the night, eliminated for the literacy for the mondos, for the legal ill, illicit for the complacent living, standing here for change, not deceived. Behavior on the left and left for the spirit, for the relying by the soul, for the lazy to lever, for the darkness under the cover, for the conversation to convert it, for the downward vertical, the verb, you can verbiage and add that age for the page you can read. Forward enough for the horoscope, for the sky, for the witness and the whitening for the wit. This is the addressing for the here, for the not to spit that freely for the speed. Free to speak the freak for the comparison, adjacent kids and fathers, and these are slicker for the twinkling, for the only defective defect. It is effective for the disregard, for the affection. This is deflection. Confidence and conflict for you confirm the contradicts, the contraband for your girth, for the dick, for the contraband, for the band, to the band-aids, and the first aids, and after all the cat to the kitchen, the catastrophic. Trophy, the tropical. Delights and dislike for that, for the disarray. Display of the kindness and the kind of love. Pay attention for the presses like Hebrew and the vintage for the vintage. For the H and the color for the vintage, for the race of that, erase the hair. Erase the hate for the radical and the rage. Infested with the eyes to get booked up behind the page. And distribute resources for the circulated for the image of the month. The paper shower with the way of the making out, with the making behind the scene outcomes, and whether the occasion causes out the image. was the meter, that line. It was the meter, that line. Found and blind to the thinking that's gonna happen to you again that won't be around. Nowhere beyond that for the stare. For the righteous of the black, for the unexpected, for the call of revenge. Sweet around for the cool looping, leap into the future for the sun, for that you can have the eyes of the condition or the secret of the sound. Abandoned for the close hold, for the notice what you're building there, for the picture in the frame that's untitled. Sketchy is enough for this, getting hard to tell, for the dissection, for the near, for this all the universal number is long enough ahead of us, so you've been so easier at the mind. Get more out of the life of divine, for the free keeping of the living, for the I'm to do that point blank. Labor of love, no taking time off of work, for the mind and missing of the train of thought. I'm not for the kind of find to make enough for the ominous attempt to use those words to describe what I'm trying to say, for the how I feel right now, for the emotion that's only to stay, for the thought is the free, for the thought, for the this only when I'm building and safe. Can we connect the dots to the stairs so you can see God transforming the space of the matter, for this to be the everything on the beat of the time, for this to the one day, for the all the fold, for the picture that strikes the pose, then becoming undone. There's nothing stood time the day before yesterday under the circles of echo, for the she's fine, she's still in love with the deep water, for the good faith, for the dreamless and leap. Skydiving for the smooth sets of the slow step. Try anything for the trial and error, just to hold the ocean with the safety of an open mind, for the exit wounds of the room in the summer dress. She still got pulled like a plan. For the plans for the water, for the life, for like the solar on the rise, with the memories of you and I, for this is someone cannot be responsible enough to cross my heart without the sentiments for the Iliad. The prom for the you to make me fell in love with the feeling over the trees and the idols and grow a miracle of spring. A strange land with no bridges on it. These conditions for the guard is scraping by ambition after class. Let that out for the blind to lead to those who lead to walk about, for the channels of desire lanes and lost roads, and what's spinning behind that black market that doesn't seem to crash. Seems brighter when the water of the grass is just to add it the rains and windshields that can't contain the night. Light for the wreck and the peace be still. Read at those years for the drifting of particles and landscape privilege to pour for the ill be disrespected. Dissected for the end, for the right, for the included, the long run when the wings don't behave the way they should. Moon's eyes caught, yes, that for the sign, for the believing that you could bright one. And watching new and to create the storms in the ocean, for the longing for the night, for the surviving in the darkness and the unraveling, for the blue it's the blood stranded, for the how many years it was only true, for the enough for that thought, for the loss, for this and the found, for the revenge and you wear a wristwatch. But it should take time enough for the justified, for the tease of the holy soul, for the don't worry enough for the star divine, for you free. You remember the irony for the finding it now. Finding a map for the point blank with all you know yourself, for the how long you can float in water without a lifeguard, for the duty of something you give long overdue, for the route. And ETA, the connection and monologue, for the keys to be the life cliche. And the clouds and immense, that to be Stephanie with the anywhere for the division, then nobody with the vibe, especially the descendants inside of the mind, confessions and adolescent for the ears, subliminal private conversations with the incomplete. Bottom line for the face those regards to the deception. It's your purpose consolidated for the mission statement for all wrong to be open ears, and the passion to lay at rest for these to be the press pierce, so you can say for the goodbye forever, then search for the meaning in this place. Victory Boulevard for no boys are alive, for the apology for the mystery, the smell of the failure, for the found the truth and laughing gaffers stared at the dashing board, for the pandemonium, for the boom and the missing head, for the wall, for the disc of the road, for the ever saw the evening with the breeze. The suicide wings with the optimists that never cry. Only if you let it for the life can change, and the heredity for the strings and only attach to the opposite. It tracks mirrors to practice and moonwalk. Good to being yourself and never the artificial, the truly being no care for the bashing and embracing yourself for the not for the reason. Creative logic for the beholding, for the autofocus, be the best of being the lock and key for the hands down, believing I would never say nothing, but the kind of aim for this to be under the hostage and relive a purpose whenever getting out of my head for the allows myself to think for the unspoken words to follow through with the love notes. The author still waiting for the more acronyms of the BS and try to be the one that's at the end for the night to the tonight to the end for the retrieving of the tomorrow for the doing time for this advance of the heavens made with the style like the king of the sky. Experience or rhythm of the trace of the weekend if you think of the same wrongs enough for the feeling for the love die for the dreams and I know it getting rough again for the harder to reach easier to the reach. Mind if I do wish that well for this help me help you for this is the oral exercise for this extra the limitation for the hand yourself. A manifesto for the always the gristling Nevada's pen for the feeling for the eyes to read amongst that for the shadow for the there's always going to say this the end. I really don't want it, but it be old enough for the penetrate for the making the point for the some abstract meaning for the brief commentary for the sunrise to be a black economy for the art we live to the give. Legitimate for the understanding. Just all of that for the top of the lungs and there's some belief for the Air Force from the high day explosive that don't test me. Ass and arm for this is peace seems to shine receptive enough for the regret for the true love. Experience a torn within something to think about for the offering yourself for the attention like you can third of the hearing of the will for the misfortune to cut off the umbilical cord for the compliments is your truly for the relocating for the resource. Something an earth can't tolerate for the digging deep and wide for the underneath the skin that don't even know for the feet for the table that leaves the potholes and molecules for the pretty hideous enough for the oxymoron for the idiot for just that for the beat of dust of the pessimist recipe for the keep climbing up.
blind and need something to sit up for all the time when you talking to school, when the talk is true.